This is I can do better. And this is going to be a slightly difficult video to make because I need a specific compound without dying in those areas. But I will do my best. Now, earlier in Joe's current live stream, he argued that someone must be cheating because they were magically in the best position without by knowing where he were, without acknowledging the in-game mechanics. And I will play from here.
Prove what? I've already given all my very well-reasoned argumentation from the previous example, and you just poo-pooed it all away and then made word salad arguments about they made tactical choices and made alternate excuses, but you're still not really providing what the original argument was about, which was, you know, either they knew where I was or it was coincidental positioning.
And there you have it. Like, there are only these two options, and it cannot be possible for any other argument or any other reason. Because if there are other reasons, then Joe are magically wrong. And he cannot accept that. Let's continue.
And you will not concede the coincidental part because you know it means that you're arguing for coincidence.
And again, he demands something to be the case because otherwise he would be incorrect. And he cannot accept that.
And all you can do is play word salad games out there making tactical choices.
Illusory truth effect, I will show you. The illusory truth effect is a tendency to believe false information to be correct after repeated exposure. Now, Joe repeated the same thing twice right after each other because he knows it's incorrect. So he makes the illusion that he's telling the truth, but he continues with it.
Like a politician, you're making these terms. They made tactical choices.
Again, see, continuing with it, repeating the same thing as if it should be true just because he repeats it multiple times.
You know, you're talking like a politician. I'm not demanding anyone control what I'm doing. I'm literally saying.
See here. And now you're demanding, now you're demanding you control what I'm doing. And then he says, no, I don't. And then he continues by doing it.
What I'm saying, that is based on the facts and what you can logically conclude. And you're making these claims and demands and projections onto me.
See, he's saying he's correct and everyone else are wrong. Literally doing the exact thing that is being said in the chat. Now, what was it this entire conversation is about? Now, I will play it from here. 2 minutes. Wow. Read the numbers. 2 hours, 20 minutes, 8 seconds into the live stream.
I knew that was going to be a thing.
If you knew, then why did you let it happen? Beetle? You can see using the dark side there that they're just within the proximity, which is they're close enough to you so you could have scanned to see what their positions are. Beetle again. You already know he's down there, so you can use the dark side to your advantage, which you don't do if I'm recalling correctly. Yeah. And you can see here, there's a pathway over there. I will still try and get to Puerto Rico compound, this compound right here, and like show the entire compound of where Joe was hiding. because he's arguing that he couldn't go any other way. He needed to go through the choke. Joe's choking, so he's exposing his own position.
Why am I still coughing?
Because it lasts. Like, you're coughing a lot in the beginning and then fades. Don't you know the game? Don't you have 1,200 plus hours in the game, so you should know the mechanics? Running and making noises, exposing your own position. Getting shot at because he heard you, he saw you. Right now he's down there on the wood in order to get a position of the window up here. From the outside, the window is slightly dented, slightly darker, so he shoots it to make it easier for him to see inside.
Like, he knows where I am. This guy's got what?
No, he doesn't. He's just making it easier for himself to see. He's playing to his own advantage, not yours.
Yep, turn your wall hacks off, pussies.
You just heard the other guy climbing the ladder, if I'm not mistaken, and then you heard footsteps upstairs. Baited Joe out because he thinks this door here has any significant value. This here is an empty door in the case that when you run through here, you fall down. This here proves Joe Blue does not know the fucking compounds, and then he wants to argue he has so much knowledge, and this here must be they magically knew where he were and didn't bait him out.
How did the door open on the other side? They got that fucking ability.
Yes, they did.
Guys are cheating, bro.
No, he's not. You're already working within confirmation bias, and you can see here he's coming from over here and not through the choke, because otherwise he would have choked. Like, it's literally explained with in-game mechanics.
Like, these guys are clearly cheating, bro. Guys is cheating, bro.
They killed Joe and they are clearly cheating. Clearly.
Like, they knew exactly where I was.
No, they didn't.
Whoops. Use poltergeist to open the fucking door.
Yes.
But the guy knew he shot the window exact position where I was.
To remove the obstruction of you, so he could have a better vision for the inside rather than the tinted, I think it's actually called, tinted window from the outside, which obscures the looks to the inside.
It's like they knew where I was.
No, they didn't. You demand they knew.
No, he's shooting the window because he knew that's where I was.
No, you're demanding this must be the case, otherwise you cannot call them cheaters.
But he wanted me to know that's where he was.
He shut the window to make it easier for him to look inside.
Where he was.
Actually, the same with that window over there. If that window was not there, it would be so much easier to see inside, so you would be shooting it if you need to shoot inside this window here. In that regard, you can see how blurry this is compared to this here. You can destroy this window. So shooting in here would be so much easier. Seeing an enemy right there would be so much easier than seeing them there.
Also, didn't miss his headshot either. On
what headshot?
Reaction.
What headshot?
So he went to open the door with poltergeist and then immediately went back and banged head tap as well.
Oh, so you're saying this guy here poltergeisted because he's the only one that had poltergeist, and then immediately back and bang headshotted you.
Hacks off, pussies.
Slow it down. Remove the sound. Slow it down. From outside. Because you can see he got shot from his right side here, which indicates the window. What headshot? And then you get killed from your left side, which indicates the guy inside. That also shows here. shotgun, rival, mace. Like, seriously. And then you continue to get up, which of course is a thing you can do because of necromancer. And you get downed again by the exact same guy. The exact same guy. Like, you're demanding a delusion. You're demanding your delusion must be the case. Let's hear Joe's argument at the end again, because he cannot let it go. Like that he must
You
be
are
right.
saying that I must be doing something, because if I'm not doing what you're saying, then you argued, then you have to be able to provide a third option then, Loktar. You're claiming you're not arguing for coincidence, but there's only two choices. Either they
No,
knew
they're
where I
not.
was, or they had coincidental positioning.
No, they played to their in-game advantages. They are 2, you're 1. That's their in-game advantage so far. Then they saw you with a beetle, they heard you with a choke, they shot at you, they removed the window in order to have full vision inside the compound, and you cannot accept that. So it's either they wall hacked, or it's a coincidence, and you cannot accept that. So it's a coincidence based on cheating.
So which is it?
Tactical knowledge based on tactical advantage based on in-game mechanics.
You didn't. You said they made tactical choices. That's not
Tactical choices based on in-game mechanics. Beetle, choke, window, door. In-game mechanics. You fell for their bait with Poltergeist. I have done the exact same thing too, because I didn't realize it. I've fallen for the fucking Poltergeist trick too. Like, it's not a bad thing. It's just the case of what happened right here, which proves they're not cheating.
not an actual. It doesn't fit within the scope of the choices that they made.
Yes, they're a duo, so they can they can box you in. They saw you with a beetle. They heard you with a choke. They saw you run through the hallway and shut the window. He shut the second window in order to get full vision of what is happening, and then he baited you out with the poltergeist. In-game mechanics explaining everything.
Yeah, but then I'm asking you to come up with a third choice, and you
Tactical choices by the in-game mechanics.
can't come up with one. You're saying
I can.
like a politician coming up with terms like tactical choices.
It's not a created term. It's literally there for in-game mechanics played to your advantage. Tactical choices, tactical retreat, tactical obstruction with blocks you can do in different games, tactical items, tactical usage of a shotgun or a pistol, you name it. You even did, I think it was prior to this one here, or this one here actually. Let me just quickly see. It was prior to that moment in the lobby, so I went a little back in the video. This here is playing to your advantage, Joe. You heard someone, and you played to your advantage.
I don't want that money, baby. Give me that money.
You can hear the footsteps, yes. I was like, what are you doing? Because watching on TV doesn't have the same sound. See, you're playing to your advantage. It's an in-game fucking mechanic. You heard someone, you threw a dynamite. It's a dynamite bundle, so it has a larger blast radius. It does more damage. It's so easy to play to your advantages. Like, are you that stupid? I hope not. And here he's doing the false agreement that because he cannot accept that he's wrong and his delusion is incorrect.
Right, so we're in agreement. They knew where I was.
No, they didn't.
They knew where you were based on the beetle that made you choke for a while and the poltergeist that baited you out. No, they couldn't know where I was because of the.
So we don't agree that they magically knew you were on the stair, right? So why are you using the false agreement?
Poltergeist that baited me out. They already were in the position.
No, they were not. They were literally not already in the position. He was literally running around as you were upstairs getting choked. You could literally hear him.
To capitalize off of the bait of the poltergeist.
Yes, on the poltergeist. After the beetle happened, he literally ran around as his teammate beetled, using the beetle, whatever.
They already moved to the position and then didn't move.
No, they didn't move to the position and didn't move. He moved to the position, shot the window, shot you as you were before shooting the window, shot you as you were running past the window, then shot the window for visual clarity. Playing to their advantage in game mechanics.
Yeah, but they didn't know where I was.
No, they didn't.
Exactly. They didn't know I was on the stairwell.
No, they didn't. You could have been downstairs. He triggered the poltergeist. You would have run up. Because that's how dumb you are.
And they were both positioned for that position of the
Because they are a duo boxing you in.
stairwell. They didn't know I.
No, they didn't position them in case of the stairwell. They positioned them in themselves in case of upstairs. That's why they took the door upstairs and not either of the doors downstairs.
I was there. So they didn't know. So they knew I was there on the stair.
You literally just argued that they didn't know you were there. Now you're saying that they knew you were there?
To capitalize off of the bait of the poltergeist. They already moved to the position and then didn't move. Yeah, but they didn't know where I was exactly. They didn't know I was on the stairwell.
They didn't know where I was exactly. They didn't know I was on the stairwell.
And they were both positioned for that position of the stairwell. They didn't know I was there.
You're literally saying they didn't know. So you're arguing they didn't know while arguing they knew. Can you decide what it is? No. I will go into the Puerto Rico compound now to show you. No, it's
So
a
they
little
didn't
later.
know. So they knew I was there on the stairwell.
Oh, this here is also one of the reasons why I'm gonna go into the compound.
Why would he go up a ladder, right? When you go up that ladder, you got to go around through the choke beetle that they set down, so they can't actually go around that way to me without going through the choke cloud they set up and revealing their own position. So he's gone up a ladder where he can't actually get around to me through footsteps.
See, Joe are magically fabricating lies that upstairs have two pathways around from the position of the ladder. And that's what I'm going to go into. Because if it didn't, it would be possible to explain the situation with in-game mechanics.
And if I've been heard upstairs, I'd logically go downstairs. So they.
Then why didn't you logically go downstairs? Like you want to be a logical and rational person, so logically, when you argue for it, why didn't you do it? You're not making sense in accordance to what it is you want to be arguing. So you are the one making word salad in order to argue your delusion all the time, and not by arguing in-game mechanics as a reason, because that would also argue that you don't know what cheating looks like. You're crying cheating all the time anyway. No. Gonna go into the game, gonna see if I can get to Puerto Rico without anyone noticing me. Okay, so I looted. What the fuck would that be called with an L? I don't even know. No idea why I wanted it to be an L word. I joined in a Soul Survivor, and my first match, actually, luckily enough, I am starting close to Puerto Rico. So right now, I'm just waiting for them to get a little further into the match. It's just starting. And when that's done, I will go to this building here, because that is where Joe got killed in. Then I will show you the different areas. And as I walk around, I will be arguing the different things for in-game mechanics. Hopefully, Puerto Rico is not going to be where the wellspring is going to be. But we'll see. So that red building should be the compound. We have the ladder right here. This here is where the beetle were. Funny enough, I actually have a beetle right there. This here is where the beetle exploded. You can see Joe's position from over here. You coming up over here? Opening that door just for funsies. See, I can run around the entire compound upstairs without doing shit. But okay, the beetle was here, covering this area here. He came up the ladder, so the beetle was there. Meaning he can literally just crouch here and then wait for Joe to appear. Or he could be here and then wait for Joe to appear, then coming up as a poltergeist happened. The reason I opened the door was because the poltergeist happened on this door here. There is nothing. You cannot do shit from this angle here. You cannot get on any part here. Now, let me show you the outside of it from the perspective of the other person and then show you that happening yet again. Let me just, like... It's so much easier to see inside when the windows are not there. So much easier. The position he could have gotten... Let me see where it was. Here. He could have gotten a position up on the roofs. Very certain there's another one. Not that one. Okay, no. I was wrong. There are no other ways to capitalize on that other than being here, potentially. And then Joe would appear approximately right there. Because you cannot get up on the roof. I tried, like, glitching it out, and the only roof you can get up on is this one here. And that doesn't really show much. I was hoping that one there was possible. And it's not. No. So, here, let's again listen to Joe.
Because I would assume they would think I would reposition somewhere far away, and they wouldn't think that I'd position myself on the stairwell between two floors.
But they did position themselves far away. The ladder is further away from you. The outside of the building is further away from you, not close to you. The poltergeist is close enough for a door to be activated upstairs that does absolutely nothing, and you fell for it. That was a tactical decision they made to see if they could bait you out.
That I'd position somewhere else. Why?
Why
Because
didn't you?
I'd want to get in. I wouldn't want to be near a window. Right? I want distance away from where they would be.
Then why didn't you go away from the window? You knew he was looking at the window, and you ran directly back to the window to get shot. So you're purposely feeding yourself to people in order to call them cheaters, to fabricate your lies, to fabricate the insane amount of cheaters you claim are in the games.
And get like an angle on where they would come from.
Then why didn't you position yourself properly?
Well, they're assumptions based on the fact that I'd expect somebody to...
What you expect someone to do does not mean they are required to do so. That's just you being horrible at adapting to these different situations.
come from the ground floor, right?
You literally heard the ladder, the guy climbing the ladder, so of course he would not teleport down. I even think
If that was
I
upstairs
even
and they heard
wrote
me
it.
choking, they might think I would change floors.
Okay, so upstairs would be free for his teammate to go, and thus nothing wrong with what he did.
That's kind of a logical argument, isn't it?
Yes, then it's a logical argument to think, to argue, not think, to argue his teammate is safe by going upstairs because you were choking, so you would go downstairs. You argued it yourself just now. I got hiccup, holy crap.
Well, it's based on the fact that they knew I was upstairs.
They didn't know you were upstairs. They beetled. They heard you choke. They saw you in the window. They played around with the poltergeist in order to bait you out to be upstairs because his teammate were upstairs and he had an angle on the window. That's what they did. You fell for their bait. Tactical bait.
So logic would determine that I'd probably go downstairs.
Then why didn't you go downstairs? If that would be the logical decision, then why didn't you? It makes no sense.
Right? If they know I'm upstairs, I'll probably go downstairs.
Yeah. You literally heard him on the ladder, so why would you expect him to teleport downstairs? Just because he logically would expect you to be downstairs after choking. Like, this here is what limits Joe in improving his own gameplay, his own delusions. It's insane. And I can pick another moment in his live streams where he potentially even, like, was cheating with wall hacks and then argues other people are cheaters to move attention away from him actually being the real cheater. This is the very first match he had in the entire stream right now. No reason to dark side right there, because you can see where the things are on the compass at the very top. He doesn't have boosted dark side to see anyone either, so no reason to dark side. Now, see, right now he's keeping track of the mine because he knows someone is in there. Back to the mine, aiming into the mine, following them, preparing for them to appear outside. And they didn't run as far as Joe was hoping, so he missed his first shot because he needed to correct his aim. Let me show you here. And then he's gonna cry. They looked at me.
It was like he came out looking at me, but
yeah, he covered his angle. It's open from this angle here. You shot him and he looked away from you. Had absolutely no idea where you were. But if we go back, Joe, right here, you're following them in the mine. There's no way you can hear them right now. Preparing your shot. He didn't run out as far as you hoped. So this here would indicate wall hacks. Here you will see a semi-perfect follow lock on the enemy he sees right there. He shoots it and moves. The enemy moves. Semi-perfect lock on the enemy. Like, he argues all this here would be called cheating if someone did it to him. And if he does it, no, it's legit gameplay. Like, takes a cheater to know a cheater. Now I just want to bring a highlight that he's using a shotgun at this distance here. And then see here. Because this shotgun does not have flechette. What sort of trash lord uses a shotgun at that range? Oh, you don't know what I'm talking about here. This video here, Hildur, bomb lancing and wall banging. Sort by knew was first to give everyone a justified possibility to see all the comments. Joe Blue wrote these two comments in a row. This one was the first one, clearly using an aimbot. What kind of trash lord shoots shotgun at that range without flechette? The enemy simply just took damage. You did the exact same thing right here. You had pre-knowledge of him being up there, and yet you took and shot the shotgun at that distance to damage him, to play to your advantage, damage him so he would potentially need to heal. Like, that's all there is to it. This here is a moment where you can argue that he's using wall hacks in order to scan whether or not someone is coming from that direction, because he's actually not looking downstairs, down this stairs to see. He's not looking down the stairs. He only had the stair right here obscured by his own weapon, so you could argue that's wall hack in order to see whether or not someone is coming for him. Now, let's try and watch Joe rage hack because he doesn't want to lose his character. Look at his aim right now.
Was it to the right? No, it was right in front of me.
He cannot hit shit proper shots, even though his character's life depends on it. He can't hit shit.
How'd that first shot not fucking kill him?
Because you were completely off target.
Oh, look, and it's Captain Hook. The guy I was sus about.
You were never sus. Well, that's incorrect. You were never sus in a way that made actual sense. You were sus in your way because you're always sus about people killing you or shooting at you. but logically and rationally, living in reality, you're never sus in a way that actually makes sense. And now, magically, he can hit every shot with no worries. Magically. Like, how? Yeah, but he just got unlucky on the first try. And so on. This here is what he argues with everyone else. They die, so they rage hack to avoid dying yet again and losing their character. This here is how he operates. And proven with the first evidence that he had absolutely no knowledge of the compound. He had no knowledge of the tactical positioning that was on tactical decision, not positioning, decision of removing the window. He had no knowledge about the possibilities of the door, which is the compound's layout. Like, everything indicates Joe doesn't know what he's talking about and potentially is the actual cheater, calling everyone else a cheater in order to remove suspicion from his own gameplay. Now, I'm not saying Joe is a cheater, but he does equally as much sus stuff as all the people that he claims are cheaters. Like, make it make actual sense. This was I can do better. I proved I can, and hope that the people new to this channel will learn something about Joe.